Oi, oi, walking here with the kiddo. So this is going to be a different style of the Optimistic Fan Club. But you are indeed still watching the Optimistic Fan Club. Our final video before you see the unveiling of our new studio. Because I'm moving. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's get right into it. So, final preseason game. We start with Flacco, we go on to Dillon Gabriel, and then of course Shedeur Sanders. The saga continues. The fans continue to be upset. Not the Browns fans, but the Shedeur fans. So let's talk about all three phases. First off, Joe Flacco. Get out of the camera, buddy. This is my show. Joe Flacco. Honestly, looked really solid for the most part. I think it's exactly what people are expecting. The ball moves downfield. The ball is completed. The run game looks much better. It's just like they looked like a coherent offense out there. And Flacco had a couple nice rips. The thing with Flacco, though, there's always a couple plays. Like he hit David Njoku on that little crossing route, plopped it right over an expanding backer. And it's like, man, that's a nice throw. But also, he makes these ballsy throws 24/7, and you can just see it's like that's what's going to lead to interceptions throughout the season, but it also leads to like these amazing big plays and completed passes. All of that to say, you can see in those instances when it works out, it's great. When it doesn't, that's going to be a 3 interception game, and too many of those is going to lead for opportunities for these rookies. So unless Flacco can just completely dial it in and they just control the ground game and the defense lights it up, which I mean, we need to spend some time talking about this defense today too, because I think they looked fantastic all preseason. But unless they're like really perfect, like these rookies are going to get their opportunities. But I thought Flacco looked good. It was nice to see Harold Fannin involved catching that touchdown. Those are the kind of plays that I think you bring Harold Fannin in for. Big body down in the goal line. Run them on these slants, blast routes, these deep slants into the end zone with overhang defenders. Like make these smaller DBs play through the big body of a player like Harold Fannin. And knock on wood, I just think that his hands are a little bit more reliable in those moments than David Njoku. So really liked what I saw on that front. Again, I thought the run game was solid. I think we saw a quick glimpse of what Dylan Sampson can be running out of the backfield, and all in all, good stuff. So then Dillon Gabriel steps in, and Dillon Gabriel, we didn't want to admit it, and I'm saying even most Browns, like all of this is the one thing. We are not referring to Shedeur Sanders. And if you're a Shedeur Sanders fan, God bless you. This message really isn't for you. Because you'll support Shedeur Sanders no matter where he goes. You're like a LeBron fan or anything like that. And God bless you. That's your prerogative. But this is solely about the good of the team and everything involved. So with Dillon Gabriel, man, like I think a lot of Browns fans who were like, yeah, I don't see it. He's small. He's this, he's that. You heard the negatives coming out of training camp. But what happens when you put it out there on the field, on tape? And this is not in comparison with Shedeur Sanders. Alone, in the opportunities that he had and the snaps he took, he looked good. He looked really solid. He looked like, exactly what you need out of a young quarterback. The guy who plays on schedule, the guy who gets the ball out quick, the guy who makes the right read, the guy who knows where his hots are when the blitz comes, the guy who does the little things correctly and manages a game. And I think to really see what he's capable of, you're going to have to see him play a full game. You're going to have to see like when he's down 10 points in the third quarter, does he fold? When it rains, does it pour? Or does he know how to like bring out the sunshine and make it all happen the right way and like be able to rally back around that? So we're going to have to see on that front. But from what we saw in the preseason, it's like he executed the 2-minute drill well. He got the ball out. He didn't seem overly flustered in the pass rush. And everyone being like, oh, like he's just like Tua. It's like, I think, I was talking to it with my buddies. It's like, I think that he's closer to Baker Mayfield. If you're an Oregon fan from back in the day, I think he's a lot more like Jeremiah Masoli. Also, if you're a CFL fan, you know Jeremiah Masoli from back in the day. Like, I think he's a lot more stout than Tua is. It's just the lefty thing that people see and like the Hawaiian thing. But like, Gabriel does not look out of place. Like, he looks like he's built well. He's going to be able to handle the hits, but more importantly, it's like he has a good feel for the game out there. So that was great to see. And there were some good moments. But again, nothing spectacular, but good enough. Especially as a backup quarterback. Now, Shedeur. Are they sabotaging him? Okay, let's run through this. Eric Dickerson comes out and he says that he heard that from a good source that the NFL was telling people, do not draft this guy. Do not draft this guy. But then they called the Browns and they said, don't do that. Draft him. I don't understand that thought process, because unlike the other cases and claims of collusion that have been proven, such as the guaranteed contract fiasco, what is the collective gain from blackballing Shedeur Sanders? And again, I'd love to hear the theories. Put them down below. I'm not calling you completely crazy, because clearly something happened, but it's like, what is the collective gain in not having Shedeur Sanders be on any football team? And like, then again, what is the gain in then having him just be on the Browns? It's like, and you know, if you try and think it out through the thought process of people who believe that, it's like, oh well, they put him on the Browns so his career gets tanked, da 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 da. It's like, if anything, it's probably the best opportunity that he would have, unless the Titans were drafting him, because it's an open quarterback competition. So that doesn't really make sense. Again, the owners don't collectively gain anything from not drafting him, because he's very marketable. It's like with the guaranteed contract fiasco, it's like, yes, now owners don't have to pay guaranteed money. So they're saving millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, if they need to cut a guy who winds up like Deshaun Watson, you know? So there's really no straight line through. So this idea that they're sabotaging him is unbelievable. We could admit, absolutely, from both sides, no, he did not get the same opportunities that Dillon Gabriel did. He did not. That's 100% clear. But that's what you were given. That's the opportunity you're given. And here's the biggest thing. It's like, if Shedeur Sanders was as good, and not just as good in terms of his potential, because I think that potential-wise, he has the potential to be a lot better than Dillon Gabriel. I still fully believe that. If he actually was as good currently as all of the fanatics say he is, and if he was ready to start week one, like all of his fanatics say he is, he would have gone out there with his third stringers, with all the people he had to go and step in with against other second, third, and fourth stringers, and he would have lit it up. But this is the hard truth. It's like, he's still an unpolished player, and that's fine. He's young. He is very young. Like, Dillon Gabriel had 6 years and went from program to program to program to program in the NCAA. That amounts to a lot of extra football, a lot of extra film study, a lot more capacity to be able to adapt to new programs and systems. And Shedeur is just like, has to beat out a lot of these bad habits. Like, we saw it. I did it in my film analysis of him. And everyone knew this, that he bails out the backside of the pocket far too much when the pass rush is coming his way. And I hope you can hear me over the wind. But that was a constant that we saw on his film. And he's just doing it again. So it's like, guys, once again, there's really no reasoning with Shedeur fans, because they just think everything is like set up for him to fail and whatever. I'm talking to football fans and Browns fans and people who supported Shedeur and want to see him start, which again, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some competent quarterback play. I really don't care who it comes from. But, like, if you put on the All-22 tape, if you understand football on some elementary level, you can see he had open crossing routes. He needed to climb the pocket. He needed to not retreat and take a 23-yard sack. Like, this idea that it was like, oh, the ball was snapped and 9 people were in the backfield and they picked him up and carried him back 23 yards and sacked him there. It's like, it's not the way that works. So, it's a major oversimplification on all ends. Then, like, the people who don't like Shedeur, who are just like, oh yeah, you see what happens to your boy when he's out there? Yeah, he was never good at it. It's like, those people are just as dense as the people who have anointed him as the next Tom Brady. So I'm speaking again to the optimistic fan club, to the rational middle, the people who shape this world and this country, the great people. The people with open minds who can go one way or the other, not the fanatic zealots and the people who just want the success of one person or one party. And not to get on my soapbox here, but just to say that we got a lot of problems in our world, and we can see it very well and concentrated within the sports world when we look close enough. And yeah, so all that to say, Shedeur's got a lot of growing to do. And this is the biggest piece. This is the biggest piece. And I think I saw Ken Carman or Anthony Lima say, and it was a great point. It's like, bad play in the third quarter of the final preseason game in your rookie year is not going to define your career. Like, it's not. It is not. And he wasn't going to win the starting job based off of that performance. They had already announced the starter. So there's nothing to worry about when it comes to all of that stuff. It is what it is. And you can move up and down the depth chart in practice when you're a backup. You can become a starter through your performance in practice. People, well, how? He's not going to get the same opportunities. It's like, yeah, guys, like, what are we talking about, bro? Tom Brady was the extra quarterback carried in his rookie season, and it took him a year to work his way up. And then he got his opportunity and he shined. It's like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. If you're actually going to be legendary, if you're actually going to be all of these things, if you're actually going to be somebody who is great, you're going to have to overcome all of the obstacles. And that stands for Joe Flacco as he tries to resurrect his career, for Dillon Gabriel as he tries to overcome the odds and a fan base that's kind of against him, and Shedeur Sanders, who has like the NFL world media pinpointed on him at all times. So we'll see what happens with all of this, but it's a long season. Shedeur Sanders is still going to start at some point this year. So let's all take a breath. Let's all take a breath. Now, in terms of the actual team itself, I'm very optimistic about this year. I still think high end, they top out around 7 wins. Because I think a lot of that's going to be determined on very small aspects, like the kicking game, which is still undetermined. The fact that they have the second toughest schedule in the league this year, it's like there's a lot that the Browns are going to have to overcome. And I think 7 wins realistically would be viewed as a successful season, especially considering their youth and everything else involved. So that's kind of where I'm at. Is there a part of me that thinks, hey, we get lucky a couple times, we get a couple bounces our way, a couple Jake Moody missed field goals like they had in 23. Maybe a 10-win season, maybe you eke into a wild card, maybe, but that's going to require a long, really successful season from Joe Flacco. That's really the only path, is that if Joe Flacco really carries it forward. Neither of these rookie quarterbacks are going to be good enough at this point to really carry this team in terms of like a 10-game starting streak that either one of them may have. They come in at the end, you know, go 3-2 in the last 5 games of the year. Maybe something miraculous happens. But honestly, though, I think this team's like, it's going to be a tough team to beat, man. Like, this defense, Aiden Huntington, seeing what that guy does, like, that's what I'm excited about. This team is embracing football players now. Guys who can do it all. Like, guys who, like, I was advocating for on the show. When people, like, I mean, people probably still don't even know. Like, Winston Reed, the number 59, backup linebacker. He's a backup linebacker, but man, the way this guy hits on kickoff coverage, they bring him in as a fullback and split him as a lead blocker. Like, this dude is an animal, and you can just see he's a great football player. And like, they're taking that approach. They're bringing in great football players, not like, oh, he's prototypical and he has half-inch longer arms than the rest of the lot, but even though his tape isn't good, we're gonna go bring him in because it's the smart thing to do because we're Ivy League. It's like, I think they're getting away from that, and I think that that's a very good thing. They're letting football guys make football guy decisions. And Aiden Huntington is like, bro, animal. You pair him with Mike Hall. You pair him with Mason Graham, Carson Schwessinger, Myles Garrett. It's like, this defense, dude, is going to be kind of next level. Like, it's going to be scary for a lot of offenses out there as long as everyone stays healthy, but it's really a beacon of hope for the years going forward. And I really think explicitly in the next 3 seasons, because that's all you're going to really have left with Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett's prime. But it feels like the boys are locked in, they're committed, they're ready to go. And I'm just excited for this all. So I'm not going to go too much longer here. I just want to say thank you, everyone. This is a big chapter change in my life. You know, in the past year, we started the show, started doing live streams, had a kid, work, all these things in my life have like really gone to a different level, and it's been a major blessing. And the fact that you've all been a part of it really does mean a lot to me. And like, you know, even the nasty comments that I get sometimes, you're still helping push our stuff out to other people. So keep the nastiness coming. We'll hit you back with some optimism. And it's going to be a really fun year. In terms of our live streams, us hanging out Sunday nights after Sunday night football, I'm really excited for it. So in the meantime, follow me on Twitter. I'll put the link below. Join the Patreon as a free member. We're going to bring that back. And I think within the season, you know, we're going to do our lives and this and that, but our breakdowns and everything else is going to be on Patreon. Or I don't know, maybe it all just goes on YouTube and we just have Patreon producers and supporters, because at the end of the day, guys, I make little to no money from this YouTube channel. It's probably about $100 a month just from the YouTube ads that run, but I don't do sponsorship, so I want this to be really grassroots and powered by you guys, and, you know, probably do some more merch this year. There's a lot of things to come that we'll discuss, but I love you all. Put your Browns predictions down in the box. My final prediction, I'm going, I know I said 7-win top out, but we're winning 9 games this year. We're going to win 9 games. All right? Love you. Bye.